CBS 6 News starts now with breaking news.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Two men now facing murder charges in connection to the disappearance of an Arizona woman with Capital Region ties. That woman's boyfriend, one of those men now charged.
Shayna Feynman was first reported missing in March. A neighbor watching Shayna's dog had not heard from her in 10 days. Shayna's car and belongings were found near where she and her boyfriend were staying in Seligman, Arizona. Shayna's body has still not been recovered, but now her boyfriend, Cavett Richards, is accused in her death. Arizona authorities say he and another man are behind bars on murder, concealment of a body, and conspiracy charges. Investigators are not sharing details on the evidence linking the two men to Shayna's murder. Shayna, who was 35, graduated from Gittleton High School back in 2006. Her sister Kara has been outspoken on TikTok about her disappearance. Kara told a local CBS News team in Arizona that Shayna moved to Arizona 3 years ago.
Developments tonight in the brutal baseball bat assault and sneaker theft at Dick's House of Sport in Latham Saturday. A second person now in custody. 21-year-old Lyric Jones of Albany is in the Albany County Jail tonight. Police are still seeking 3 other suspects. We have details online at cbs6albany.com to help report tips to calling e-police.
School starts next week across New York State and the Capital Region, and with that, new school safety procedures will be in place.
The New York State Legislature putting guardrails on school lockdown drills, ensuring they will be trauma-informed and include a notification to parents. CBS 6's Tom Eschen speaking with officials tonight, telling us what that will mean for students and staff.
We have the verbiage.
Tune in tomorrow night at 7 for a special half-hour newscast focusing entirely on back to school, the trends and challenges districts, teachers, and students are facing as we head into a new school year. That's 7 p.m. right here on CBS 6, on air and streaming online at cbs6albany.com. A former Gloversville factory is a total loss after a massive fire ripped through the building early this morning.
Neighbors describe seeing flames stories high. So far, no injuries or casualties have been reported. CBS 6's Ashley Kusakonki tells us about the investigation and how there is some concern after homeless people have been known to come in and out of that building.
The intense flames.
Many Americans expected to travel today, kicking off the busy Labor Day weekend, which could be even busier than last year around this time. According to AAA, domestic travel will rise by 9%. TSA preparing to screen a record-breaking 17 million people through September 4th at U.S. airports, with Friday expected to be the busiest day for air travel. Those traveling by car can expect to see some relief at the pump, with prices averaging $3.36 today. And Labor Day, the unofficial end to summer, means lake season is coming to a close.
Yeah, the weather plays a big role in how the season has been for businesses that rely on lake tourism. CBS 6's Craig Adams joins us live from Doc Brown's on Saratoga Lake. No surprise you found a good gig like that, Craig.
Absolutely. And you know, the skies are bright here too. I'm Craig Adams reporting live tonight from Doc Brown's on Saratoga Lake. Now back to our studio.
Craig's making a move on that plate.
I think
He's
so.
got his eyes on that food or beverage, whichever. All right, federal funding will soon support safer streets in 4 Capital Region communities.
Colony, Guilderland, Half Moon, and Clifton Park collaborating on the Safer Streets for All program. The funding goes towards a pilot program to look at best practices to alert drivers about nearby accidents and post-crash cleanup. In the past decade, the communities have seen 118 fatalities on the roads as they cover 30 miles of high-speed roads, including sections of the Northway, I-90, 797, and Route 7.
One is exploring technologies with more connected vehicles on the road so that they can receive infotainment alerts if there's an emergency scene ahead, giving them maybe 30 seconds warning to slow down. And if an emergency vehicle is approaching, they could slow down and pull over, and that message could go over their dashboard.
Another tool EMS departments are looking into is platforms with specialized health registries to aid responders in treating crash victims efficiently, which will let them know if someone has a heart condition or is nonverbal.
All right, still ahead here at 5 o'clock, a local boxer goes pro, and she's got the support of her hometown behind her.
House Republicans aren't done with the New York hush money trial of Donald Trump just yet. I'm Matt Gelka in Washington, and I'll explain coming up.
And coming up in sports, the work week is done for the Great Danes. CBS 6 sports director A.J. Pankowski is live at Casey Stadium, where in just 2 days, UAlbany football host LIU in their home opener. What the Danes have to say about their Week 1 opponent.
And with just a few exceptions, largely dry weather.
Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance not receiving a warm welcome at a speaking engagement with the International Association of Firefighters in Boston. Take a listen.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Well, Semper Fi, guys. We got some, it sounds like we got some fans and some haters. That's okay. Listen to what I have to say here, and I'll make my pitch. And I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions and non-union alike.
As you can hear, boos immediately as Vance took the stage again during his remarks. The Ohio Republican senator went on to ask the firefighters to reconsider their support of Democrats in presidential elections. Vance spoke to the union convention a day after Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz did. He had a much different reception.
Well, good morning. I know you got, and every delegate.
Walz's remarks were met with cheers several times. Now, Vance did receive some cheers from the crowd at points during his speech as well. The union represents nearly 350,000 firefighters, emergency medical workers, and rescue workers in the U.S. and Canada. New subpoenas issued by the House Judiciary Committee looking into Donald Trump's New York hush money trial.
National correspondent Matt Gilka explains the new actions they're taking related to the judge presiding over the case and why they might not get very far.
Judge Juan Merchan.
Well, Monday not looking too bad.
Yeah,
I think
Steve's beach ball is too close to the grill. It could be dangerous.
Yeah, we'll have to watch
My
that.
worry, yes.
All right, Steve, thank you. We'll stick with us. Sports is next.
And don't forget, CBS 6 News is back later tonight with our 7 p.m. broadcast. You can catch the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell at 6:30. And then after that, join JT Fetch and that guy right there, Steve LaPointe, for your only source for local news and weather at 7 o'clock.
AJ, thank you. A Capital Region athlete is going professional, and she has the Collar City support behind her.
Pretty exciting. Jada Robinson of Troy is a 4-time junior Olympic national champion who just received her professional card. She'll be training under famous boxer Roy Jones Jr. in Florida to help Jada reach her goals. The North Central Community Solidarity Group raised money for boxing apparatus that Jada can use when she's home.
The opportunity is just an amazing opportunity, an opportunity that does not, come for everybody, but it came for me, and I thank God for that. So I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to make a name for myself again. Chase your dreams, never give up, and don't let nobody stop you.
Jada leaves in a few weeks to train with Jones. She'll be the first woman to train under the legendary boxer. Her first match is set for October 25th. How about the size of that belt? It's almost as big as she is.
I know. We saw Troy Mayer, Carmela Mantello in there helping her out, too.
I don't think she's a contender. All right, still to come. JT is up next with the Money Amp back at 6. Here's a look at what's ahead at 5:30.
In tonight's Power and Politics, our Tom Eschen has a look back at our conversations with late civil rights advocate Dr. Alice Green. And with Alice Green's passing, we sit down with those at the Center for Law and Justice that she founded, how they plan to further her legacy.
Starts now.
First at 5:30, our top stories and weather headlines. Here's what you need to know. A woman with Capital Region ties reported missing in Arizona, with 2 people now charged with murder, including her boyfriend.
Shayna Feynman was first reported missing in March. A neighbor watching Shayna's dog had not heard from her in 10 days. Shayna's body has still not been recovered, but now her boyfriend, Kavette Richards, is accused in her death. Arizona authorities say he and another man are behind bars on murder, concealment of a body, and conspiracy charges. Shayna, age 35, graduated from Guilderland High Schools.
New subpoenas issued by the House Judiciary Committee looking into Donald Trump's New York hush money trial. Republicans allege Merchant was not impartial because of his daughter's work on a left-leaning organization's campaign.
And tonight is the first interview scheduled for Vice President Kamala Harris since she became the Democratic nominee for president. She won't be alone, as vice presidential candidate Tim Walz will be joining her. It is on CNN tonight at 9. In-depth coverage on all these stories online. Just head to CBS6Albany.com. Weekly Power and Politics segment.
Our Tom Eschen has a look back at the accomplished career of Albany civil rights advocate Dr. Alice Green, who passed away at the age of 84 last week. He joins us now live for tonight's segment. Good evening, Tom.
Thank you, JT and Amani. And we launched this segment back.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. And still to come all new at 5:30, mental health on college campuses.
And tonight's Spotlight on America, we're learning why it's under intense scrutiny tonight, especially for college athletes.
As the community continues to mourn the loss of civil justice advocate Dr. Alice Green, those who knew her best say her important work will continue on.
I spoke with those at the Center for Law and Justice earlier today about just how they plan to make that goal a reality.
She was fierce right up until her passing.
That's how Tayshawn Murdoch describes Dr. Alice Green and the positive impact she had on his life and career. The civil rights giant passed away at the age of 84 last week. Among other accomplishments, Green was the executive director at Albany's Center for Law and Justice. Murdoch now tapped to lead the center in the interim.
We knew what her vision was as it relates to how we handle things like prison reform and zero youth detention and reparations. And so we're not changing any of that. Our goal is to take what she has given us and use that to propel the message forward.
Despite humble beginnings that included being forced to sleep in a barn and being discriminated against by a former employer, Green persevered. Her civil justice work impacting and improving communities across the Capital Region and far beyond, even gaining her recognition at the White House from former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. Murdoch says that important work will continue under his guidance.
Ensuring that everyone has the possibility to be free or be treated equally.
And says that while she may be gone, Dr. Green's legacy at the center and throughout the community will live on.
Dr. Green continued to fight right up until her untimely passing. And showing that no matter the obstacle or the difficulty, that we just have to keep pressing forward and pressing on. And I think that's something that not only I, but the team here at the center will continue to take on for a long time.
The board of directors of the Center for Law and Justice will name a successor of the organization to replace Dr. Green at a later date. If you'd like to donate to honor Dr. Green's legacy, visit this story at CBS6Albany.com.
On Thursday.
Steve, thanks. Coming up at 6 tonight on CBS 6, we're just a couple days out from the Labor Day weekend.
And meteorologist Craig Adams joins us live with how local lakeside businesses are preparing for the busy holiday.
As students return to campus and fans flock to watch college sports, there's an emerging conversation about keeping young athletes safe. A recent first-of-its-kind study revealing an increase in suicides among college athletes over the past 20 years.
In this Spotlight on America investigation, Atra El-Nashar explores what's being done to shut down the stigma surrounding mental health off the field, and a warning that the content of the story may be disturbing for some viewers.
Still to come tonight, we're just a few days out from the start of the new school year.
And with that comes new school safety procedures. We hear from local school officials on what it will mean for kids heading back to the classroom next week. Greg Floyd is up next.